Coming back for part 2 of the Equalizer episode review. So, yeah, God ain't gonna let your spouse get away with this one. This one, he's like, oh, we gonna deal with this now. We gonna deal with this now. Now we gonna deal with this because I gotta burn that sucker. I gotta burn it out of you. I'm a burn it. Because when I cauterize this wound, that means I'm sealing it shut. Okay? So God's like, I'm going to deal with it this time, okay? But when he deals with it, it's going to hurt like hell. Because God's been saying, I want you to give it to me. Give it to me. Let me help you. I need you to get the direction that I need to show you. He ain't listening. And now I have to burn that wound. I'm going to go into that heart wound all the way down to the root. Down to the bone. Down. Then I'm going to burn that. Then I'm going to burn it. You're going to be good then. We ain't never going to have to worry about this one again, as according to Psalms 37 and 10 or 11. These things you shall see no more. This thing that you've been dealing with, this about, never again. You ain't going to deal with that one, but I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to deal with the deep end. So with that being said, anything that they have been using as a vehicle, their pathway, whatever it was, even I have been dealing with, it's something that I've been working on, and it has been a comfort zone for me. And God already showed me a couple months back, you're going to be taking a break from this thing. And it's like, but am I coming back to it? I was like, and because even in the dream that I had about it, it was like, I was more so worried that I had to leave it. It's like, that was my assignment. But the Lord showed me previously I graduated. I've graduated. Some of y'all are hold up in seasons because you ain't willing to let go of the thing that you graduated from. You ain't supposed to stay in high school forever. You got to go to college. You got to graduate from that season. Some of you are in the college level of this assignment, and God's like, I need you to graduate so that I can take you into the world. Okay? We've already passed all of the other tests. You're in final exams. You can't go back after this. Y'all still sitting up there trying to hang out. But my friends is here. Your spouse is like, my people is here. You got to graduate to the next season. You got to go. I don't care how much you like them. Got to go. And I will burn those relationships. Burn those bridges. So I will make sure. I will make sure that they go down and you will not be able to get back to them. Remember, golden child. He looked back. The door was burnt. He couldn't even go back to the door. So the endeavors that they were doing previously had to break down. It's not to say that the whole projects and all that kind of stuff is going to break down. It's new things that have to come out. Meaning their skill set needs to be used in a different way in order to come into alignment for what they're supposed to be helping. Even for you, they're gonna use their skill set, but they gotta let the bridge of what they built with their own hands go. Go back to my word of the year. I have to go back and listen to it because now, with all that I've come into the understanding of, I don't know. I might have to seek God and find out, does he have a word for the middle of the year? Because right now, it might be another word, y'all. I might have to find out. So, y'all sitting up there trying to shift, to save things. Y'all trying to pick up things. I remember a scenario once where the person was dealing with losing stuff. So they were sitting up there trying to grab stuff and put it into places that they should have already dealt with these things, but they refused to deal with it when they had time to deal with it. In some of your cases, that's what your spouse was doing. They were ignoring it and using other distractions in order to ignore the impending doom of this situation. Meanwhile, you're over here like, hello? I'm dealing with this stuff. Why are you not over here dealing with it with me? And that's another reason why God had to help them and help them deal with these things, so that when y'all are in the thick of some stuff and y'all married, your spouse don't go ghost on you and you sitting up there, where the heck did he go? I need his help. And he gone ghost. And you're like, I got a war with your demons and deal with this too? Because you're going to be looking at God like, I know you ain't sent nobody like this up in my life. That's why they got to deal with this. Because you fight demons. As Tiffany Montgomery said, I throw grenades. I don't throw, actually she said, I don't throw grenades. I throw tankers at people in the spirit. I got to be sure who I got around me. You be throwing spiritual tankers. These people got to be ready for that. Because some of them are going to have to block the assaults that's going to come after you for the type of prayer that you, just for the prayer you pray. Just for the prayer you pray. And they going to act, because the physical manifestation of the retaliation, they're going to come back for that. Whoo! Remember, Daniel, he was arrested and thrown into a lion's den because the people was sitting there in coercion talking about, we got to put him in, we got to go talk to the king and make sure he gets thrown in jail because our plans are getting messed up. And for some of you, because you good prayer warriors, I'm going to just leave it right there. Anyway, coming back, your spouse is trying to figure out how to save the vehicle that got him this far. But this time he needs help. When he injured his leg, his father was there. And his father was the only person he could lean on to be able to stand on his feet to walk. Your spouse needs to lean on God in order to be able to walk. The father is forcing him to put his weight on him so that they can get out of danger's way. He's going to have to learn how to trust God in a way that he can't see nor perceive him. The wound has to be tied off. That wound, whatever that root wound is, got to be tied off. Whatever it is, that root bitterness, got to be tied off. Whatever that grief that needs to be recovered from, got to be tied off. It's got to be dealt with. Because it's leaving them with root bitterness and resentment that they're not dealing with. And what God is trying to do, he says, I see into the future. For some of you, God had to do a purging. Remember, God keeps showing me Luke 4:40 and 4:41 that God has to expel them demons. But at the same time, I did a word where I talked about it was like a cancer. For some of them, God's trying to get in there before it turns into a cancerous issue in their bodies. That resentment boiling up from unforgiveness turns into something that actually is going to kill them. And thank God for your prayers, because you standing in the gap, it was going to sneak up on them. Lord rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. See how that happened? Yeah. So he needed to deal with that root before it became that. Okay? And that's what he's trying to do right now. So he can deal with it and they can stop running. He had to be isolated with nowhere to go but to depend on his father in that time frame. The enemies that are attacking are a test. Every enemy that came at them in this episode had to come a specific path because they had orchestrated where they were, that they could see whenever the person was coming. God will always give you a vision Tiffany says, let nothing go past my prophetic radar. God will let them see who's coming at them and give them wisdom before they get there. It's up to them to have the wisdom that and understanding of what it is that they're fighting with. That once they understand what it is that they're fighting with, they can pass this test when the thing comes at them. The problem is, in some cases, they needed to burn that root. The father needed to burn that root off, coming back to the roots. As according to is a scripture called 12:14, I need to pluck up the root of the sycamore tree. Remember, go back and look at my word for the witch hunter. So that I can cast it into the fire. God needs to cast that thing that they won't deal with into the fire. Jeremiah 23:29. God needs to take a spiritual hammer to that thing so that he can break the rock. In some cases, it's that fleshly part of hardness around their heart that he got to break. God is breaking the hard shell over your spouse's heart in order to make it flesh so that he can love you the way that he needs to. These singular attacks are individual tests that are preparing them to walk into the marriage with you. And some of them, he's going to run from them. Some of them, he's still going to run from them in the midst of the test. And it's like, he was sitting up there running, trying to shoot blankly, couldn't see where he was shooting. These people, he just shooting, wasting bullets all over the place while running. And now he hiding in a corner somewhere. But I'm going to get to you in a minute. I'm going to get to you, okay? Because this is your case for some of you. But he's been shooting and all kinds of different stuff. He has to listen to God in order to defeat these things. He's going to have to use a different way because he ran out of bullets, he had to use a different way to take these enemies out. He used huge cement bricks to break over their heads is what he ended up doing in order to take them out. Your spouse is going to have to listen to God for the instruction of how to take these enemies out. And he will succeed. The last test, he's going to have to get past that last individual. But actually, that one's something that you and him going to have to deal with. Okay? Or you might just take it out spiritually before it has the ability to gain access to you. Okay? So with that being said, let's get to you, the kingdom wife. Coming back to the first part. Remember I was talking about the fact that there's somebody closer? The husband. So kingdom wife, they come into you first. They're going to try to test you to take you out. What does this look like? Rewind. Remember how the ex showed up? He wanted to reminisce. He's sitting there asking questions. What he's doing is he's operating as a monitoring spirit. When I tell you I'm sitting here, go back to the word of the Lord for the year. I told you, do not let these fools in when they come, because they trying to come in with what does it say about Satan? He comes in with lies and soft words like butter. This is in Psalms 55. But he's looking to stab you in the back. Okay? This is what it was happening. And he's sitting up there, I want to help you. I miss how we used to do. Remember how all the fun times that we had? I want to help you with that. What do we... Number one, I need you to first come into the realization. Why are you asking so many questions about what I do? Anybody coming up asking, what you doing? How you been? What's up? What's up? And he won't leave you alone. What you doing? How you been? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Get the away from me. Get away from me. Why you want to know? What's wrong with you? What's up? You asking too many questions. Get away from me. Should have been number one. This is me all day. If I don't tell you to your face, get away from me. Oh, I'm in the spirit saying, get this fool away from me. Because I see what was happening here. And I'm just getting mad just sitting there listening to them. So, but she's sitting up there like, hey, I don't know. He's sitting up there like, come on, I'll play you for it. He took her out there, loving basketball style. And it's like, let's play basketball. He totally losing every game. And she's like, I'm not telling you nothing because you lost every single game. He's like, she like, you need my help with that? You need my help with that though. You need my help with that. He was giving me just right vibes. But he was just wrong. So he's like, I'll play you for the answers. Monitoring spirit all day long. Looking for information, desiring to distract you. While you need to be what? Helping your spouse. What was Dante going through? He going through hell and high water. You sitting up there. Let me go entertain this counterfeit for a minute. You sitting up there. I'm getting bothered by the fact that I'm still stuck in the house. I'm gonna go. He. Ooh, he over there looking fine over there. How that old Missy Elliott song. I used to listen to secular music. That old Missy Elliott song. That guy over there at the bar the other night that might beat him, Mr. Right. He ain't the one. You supposed to be over in the corner praying and fasting. Why you over here, David? Why you over there looking at Bathsheba? What's up? Why you over there? Take your butt back to your prayer closet and start praying for your spouse. Because the moment you get distracted, that's when the enemy's trying to kill him. I need you to ask a bigger question. Why am I distracted right now? Why is it that the enemy's trying to get me angry or frustrated so I'll get apathetic so I'll stop praying for this man? Why? What's the real thing? What's the real reason? What's the real thing? So, you need to be getting in God's presence, praying for your spouse. They are trying to kill him. Now more than ever, your spouse needs you to pray and pray them through this test. You cannot be distracted entertaining distractions. If your spouse is working, she was not working on her post. This was her day off. David's supposed to be out in the battlefield, but he's out here entertaining Bathsheba. As we know, that did not end well. So, then she mad because she can't have a normal day. Y'all sitting up here talking about, well, I wanna be out here. A lot of times you mad because you want to be out here having a normal life. You can't. I'm sorry. God called you. You're called. You're chosen. You're an intercessor. You're a watchman on the wall. That means you got to be on your post. There's no breaking in that for you. Sorry, love you. Even when you get in a marriage, ooh, you got to get instructions as to what you're supposed to do when you come out of your resting season. Because what does it say in Revelations 12 at the end of the chapter? Satan retreated until he got a more opportune time. You still got to be prepared for that more opportune time. Be vigilant and sober-minded. Which reminds me, remember I did the video talking about the attack that be on your spouse's head? Ugh. Okay. So her aunt had to tell her, he tried that with you again? She said, what? Oh, you forgot. Remember, he used to take you out and say, I'm going to take you for a walk and do this with you. And then he would go and buy you a ginger beer. And she was like, what? That's exactly what he did. Yeah. Number one, there's such a thing as a spirit called pharmakia. Pharmakia is one that uses alcohol. Alcohol is a spirit. Why? Because it opens up a door for what? Lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, pride of life. Lust of the flesh, entering and entertaining the ex. Lust of the eye, desiring to go have a good time in somewhere. Pride of life. Doing something in apathy against your responsibilities. Whole time Kingdom's spouse is in a shootout to try to kill him. Get your butt back on your post. Get over there. Get over there now. No. You over here being distracted by monitoring spirits of that. And the aunt had to come in and tap her upside the head. Dude, this was a trick. Wake up. Remember, Satan is coming in with an assignment to attempt to bring a spirit of confusion. Remember what I said about Whitley and Dwayne. When Dwayne came in, he brought reminiscence to her. But remember how I told you, because he was her kingdom spouse, that was right. But because for some of y'all, that ain't right. The ex ain't right. The ex coming in is supposed to breed in messages as according to the scripture in Ephesians, not Ephesians, the scripture about Elijah talking about when the messenger brought the word about the fact that Jezebel was coming with to try to kill him. He went and hid under the bush and then told God, take me up out of here, take me up out of here, take me out of here. Yeah. Message of confusion in order to get you out of duress and distress. Dwayne, she was seeing visions of Dwayne. Perfect example. This woman seeing visions of the ex. He's like, oh. And then Auntie had to slap her upside the head. Doo-doo, dodo, duh. This was what he used to do to you. Remember? And she was like, you're right. I remember that time I got mad at him and he did. Thank you for letting me know. Snap out of it. Confusion. That's exactly what it was. Because she couldn't stop thinking about the ex-husband. Come on now. That was your prophetic witness that was giving you a reminder. Then she makes common sense. Let me go check and see where Dante's at. Oh, he's not at the booth he was supposed to. He should have been here by now. Where is he at? Oh my God. Wait, he's missing? I can't track his phone. I can't track his car. Oh my goodness, he's in trouble. No. Then she has to have her friend go do